everyone, it's Kim here at Hancock Homestead and Gardens, and today it is Monday, December the 5th. So that means it's time for my Yuletide vlog number 5. Because it's Monday, I've had a long but wonderful day. On Mondays, John and I, we get to babysit our grandson Jeffrey for the day while his parents are at work. From about the time Jeffrey was born until this fall, we have watched Jeffrey just about every day babysitting while his parents have been at work. But this fall, when Karen started back to teaching, she decided to put him into a daycare, which is fine because I used to have a daycare myself. I was a preschool teacher and a regular school teacher, and so I understand the importance of social development that you get from a daycare, being around other children, playing with kids his own age, and so I don't have a problem with him going to daycare at all. But I did ask my daughter if we could retain one day a week for just me and G. Paul to have him, and she agreed, and we all decided that Mondays would be the best day. So on Mondays, Jeffrey comes out, and we have just a full day of it. And today we were playing all day, and except for nap time, which for Jeffrey and for Meemaw happens to be from like 2 until 4. But anyway, but there are 3 things that he does not like for Meemaw to do. Okay, he does not like for Meemaw to be on the computer. In fact, he will tell me, turn it off. He's only 2 years old, and he will tell me, turn it off, please. He has good manners. He'll say please, but, he doesn't like for it to be on. And he does not like for me to get out the camcorder, or if he does, then he wants to be the one doing the camcordering, which wouldn't be so bad for him to be my cameraman, except with him only being 2, his hands are not that steady, and, you guys would just get dizzy and sick. So anyway, so we do not camcorder anymore, unless he's distracted by someone else because he wants to play with the camcorder. And the same thing goes with pictures. He's at that age now where if I get out my camera, then instead of being the one that poses for the camera, he wants to be the one behind the camera taking the pictures. And that's great. I really do hope that he grows up to develop the love of photography. But, right now at his age, the only shots that he gets are of my knees. And I do not have pretty knees, people. So yeah, on the days he's here, unless he has mom or dad to distract him or G. Paul to play with him, I have to just do away with technology and photography. But anyway, I digress a little bit there because what I want to do now is it's 9:30 and they've been gone for about a half hour, and I'm afraid that if I sit down, I am going to fall asleep. And I'm just not quite ready to call it bedtime just yet. I'd like to at least wait till 10:30. I'd like to see the news. So what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off this bookcase here so that I can use it for Christmas decorations. And I thought that I would tell you a little bit of a story behind this bookcase. At the time, my daughter was in high school. Let's see, I think she was a freshman and he would have been a senior, and they were both in FFA. And in FFA, she was required to do a woodworking project. And so all 3 of my kids were in FFA, and they all 3 did woodworking projects. And so my daughter had asked me, Mom, is there anything that you think you'd like to have for, my woodworking project this year? And I was like, well, Karen, if you can make me a really nice bookcase, that would be awesome, And so she said yes, and so we talked about the dimensions. And so she, she's working on the project at school, and I'm not seeing it, but I'm trusting that she's doing a good job and she has good teachers. And So she brings the bookcase home, and I am just like dumbstruck, I guess. I mean, you know, my kids have been in 4-H, you know, and they'd had woodworking in 4-H, and my dad used to do woodworking, and, you know, he was really good at it, and John knows some about woodworking, you know, but when she brought it home, I was quite honestly amazed at how well it was made. You know, and I was just like, oh my gosh, Karen, I was like, that is beautiful. I said, you did an awesome job with the sanding and the finishing. And I said, you know, you can't even hardly see your nails, you know. And so yes, I'm really complimenting her because, you know, it was, you know, well earned. And but then come to find out, my now son-in-law, her boyfriend at the time, was sneaking in and helping her. And my son-in-law is very good at woodworking. His whole family is very good at woodworking. They have all the woodworking tools, you know. Yeah, so she had a little bit of help, but it's still a beautiful bookcase. And then when I got this one, I asked them both if they could make me another one, and so I have a matching set. But anyway, since then I've done away with the encyclopedias. They were just very outdated, and I wanted to use it as a remembrance shelf for each of my kids. It just so happens this bookcase has 3 shelves, and I have 3 kids, so I have dedicated a shelf to each of my kids. And what I've done is I have put one of their high school graduation pictures in each area for each of them, and then on the shelf I have cups and knickknacks and little things that just represent each one of them. And for example, I'll show you. And oh, it is so dusty. I dust, people, I really do, but we live in the country, and I have a gravel road on this side of me. We have a gravel driveway, and then in the fall the farmers are harvesting. We've had a very dry year, so the dust just seeps into my house. But anyway, I digress again. But for example, Katie is going to Mizzou. So she bought me this travel mug, and instead of using it, I chose to put it on her knickknack shelf here, her remembrance shelf, to, you know, just remind me that, you know, I have a wonderful, beautiful, smart daughter that is going to Mizzou fulfilling her dream. So yeah, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything in this tote so it can be stored away during Christmas, and then I'll know where everything's at. And things that are breakable, I'm going to be wrapping. And then, like, she wants to travel the world. Well, our son Paul took her to Las Vegas for Christmas last year, so she has her Vegas mug. And she wanted me to put it on her memory shelf. So that's what I did. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing. But I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me wrap everything that's on here. But I do want to just share some of the things on here real quick about my children. For example, when my 2 girls were in high school, bring that a little bit closer so y'all can see it. When both of my daughters were in high school, they were on the dance team together. So we had this really nice picture taken of them, both of them in their dance uniforms. And then I'll go on down here to my other daughter's shelf, and Karen, she went to Truman. So I have a Truman travel mug from her college that has Mom on there. So, and then this is Matt and her senior prom picture. My daughter borrowed my tripod Sunday so that they could take family pictures. She borrowed my camera and my tripod. So I have you guys sitting over on the TV shelf. So yeah, that's how I'm hoping that I'm in focus and that you all can see me. And then my daughter is now teaching at Monroe City high school, and so they gave her this cup last year as a token of appreciation. So that's on her shelf. This book, Guess How Much I Love You, was her favorite childhood book. And I would read it to all my children, but Karen's the one that just happened to claim it as hers. And I don't know if you can see or not, but it has markings from the fire. Our house burnt in 2005, and we were able to salvage a few items, and this book just happened to be one of those that we were able to keep. But it does have just a little bit of fire damage. But she says that makes it all the more special because it just reminds her how grateful she is that we're all still here. And then Karen and Matt got married in 2012, and so I made them a couple of photo journals. And then down here on the very bottom is my son's shelf. I kind of have them going in age order. Katie is the youngest, Karen is the middle, and then Paul is down here on the bottom shelf. Isn't he handsome? Oh, can you all see him? Back when he was in high school, he had a, oh my goodness, head full of hair. Oh, he was a looker. Now that then when he went into the Navy, they shaved it all off. And since then he has gone back and forth. Sometimes it's short, sometimes it's sort of long, sometimes he has a beard, sometimes he doesn't. I never know for sure exactly what my son is going to look like because he works overseas for the government, and so depending on where he's at determines how he looks. So anyway, and so then down here on his shelf, I have this mug that he bought me when he graduated. Says Navy Mom, proud to be a Navy mom. Isn't that cup beautiful? Yeah. This box has little trinkets and stuff in it from his travels and stuff. And then here's a picture of him and Edna. Edna is his wife. Here's his Navy picture. See what I mean? He went from long hair to short hair. And none of them are home now. Katie is in Columbia, which is about an hour and a half from us. So we get to see her about once a month. And then during the holidays, of course. And then Karen, she teaches up here at the local school, and she's only 5 miles from us. Probably only about 2 as the crow flies, but about 5 miles the long way around. And then Paul, right now, he is in Afghanistan. So he's a long ways away. And so yeah, so this is what I'm going to be doing tonight until the news comes on. I'm just going to be cleaning off this shelf, dusting everything down, packing it away. And then whenever I get out my Christmas stuff, this will become, I think, a winter village. I have a set of a Christmas village, and I don't have like a long table to put it on. I don't have room for a long thing, but I got to thinking that I could probably put 2, maybe 3 if it's small on each shelf, and create a vertical Christmas village. So anyway. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up tonight. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to know more about our homestead and what we do on it, please subscribe. This is Kim at Hancock Homestead and Gardens saying bye for now. Okay, so here are the side effects of Jeffrey's visit today. He likes to play farm, and he likes to drive his little vehicles around on this little road rug. And there are the puzzles. He works on them in that chair because I had to take his table and chairs out for Christmas, but he just stood there working on his puzzles. And then he and Meemaw would color over here. So